People who married someone they weren't sexually compatible with. How did it turn out? A friend of mine did this, and now she follows podcasts and watches YouTube clips about how to be sexually attracted to your husband, which includes inwardly repeating a mantra to herself when sexual things are happening, such as "I like this" or "this feels good," to try to convince herself that it's true. So, not great. Is my sense. I thought being compatible in so many other things would make sexual compatibility less important. I turned out to be wrong. Builds resentment over time, lots of frustration, and eventually either compromise or divorce. It has turned out that she now has 2 girlfriends and I have 0. But we were compatible long enough to make some beautiful babies, and we both love them more than anything else. And we still love each other. So it turned out weird, but it's okay. That's life. We just divorced last year after almost 20 years together, separated for the past 2 years. It hurts a lot. She moved out and our divorce was amicable, but I'm still in pain. My dog passed away from cancer. She took our other dog. I was then laid off from my job I had for years, followed by being laid off from the best job I had. This house has a lot of memories of all 4 of us together. I have struggled a lot with keeping myself alive. Currently seeing a therapist, going to the gym, lots of walking, finding people to connect with, and so on, but it's just the hardest thing in the world and sucks. Divorce? I regret it. I should have tried harder. Currently with someone else. The sex is amazing. Everything else is complete shit. I'm one of the rare success stories. We went to couples sex therapy. We good now. Together 11 years. Context. I wanted it daily. She did not. I had actually said the exact words, "I don't think we're sexually compatible." It escalated to, "We need to try something else. And since we both don't know what, let's try therapy." This opened up a lot for us to explore mentally and emotionally, which turned into a lot for us to explore physically, which turned into a lot for her to explore personally. Still a long road ahead. But we're working on it and probably always will be, and that's perfect for me. I'm fine not knowing what the answer is, so long as we're at least trying to look for it. Mid-30s, been quietly counting the months to myself, but it's been 2 years of a gone bedroom. He has low libido and I don't think he realizes how long it's been. I know it won't be forever, but this is definitely the longest drought we've had. Usually we are every 3 to 6 months. I also have low libido, so I share the blame, but I think his is lower. I could initiate, but timing is always off. Different showering schedules, he's tired, work is crazy, and so on. I still love him. Wouldn't divorce over this, but wish it was better? I'm tired of talking to him about it, so it is what is. A lot of really young and idealistic people on Reddit, so I expect a lot of these nonsensical answers. But for me, I have absolutely 0 regrets. Sex is decent, but not amazing even after working at it a lot. But it's also stopped being a priority for both of us. There are so many more important things about a relationship, and I consider our partnership to be light years above average. The reality is most couples stop having sex eventually in old age. Yeah, they don't have to, but most do. To base your entire relationship on sex is just insane to me. I'd bet every penny I have that more marriages end badly because they prioritize sex over other qualities than because they prioritize other qualities over sex. Married to my wife for 13 years. Been together 20. The sex wasn't ever that frequent, but after kids, it became pretty gone. We had 2 years with nothing. And now lucky if we do it twice or 3 times a year. She has no libido. I have a very high sex drive and regularly feel lonely and ignored. I don't have many of my friends close by, so it's even harder as I'm basically alone. And working from home, I'm in our bedroom 16 hours a day. I don't know what will happen. I'm 43 now, and don't know if I can continue for another 30-40 without intimacy, including hand-holding, hugging, and so on. Yes, it's that bad. I'm seeing a therapist, and she is too. We're both depressed and tired from life. I don't think that helps. It does make you start to crave your earlier, more sexually charged relationships, but that won't fix it. So yeah, it's not great. Just a reminder, sexual compatibility isn't only about having a lot of great sex. It can also mean that neither partner has much of a sex drive. We got divorced. Now I'm with someone I'm compatible with. That said, there were many other things wrong with the relationship. 70 widower, gone bedroom for 23 years. So much so that I forgot how. She's gone now. but I still can't remember. Sad, huh? Wife had an ovarian cyst removed. It knocked her into menopause hard. Sex is painful, and with literally everything she's gone through due to her reproductive organs. Is not interested in the cancer risk of HRT. I don't blame her in the slightest. We make things work, and I've noticed my libido is lagging, either due to age or a subconscious attempt to match hers. I realized at the beginning of this that my libido would fade, and it was a temporary issue. Men dump their wives for a new model after your wife supported you, helped raise your kids, was there for you, seemed like a raw deal. Our relationship, otherwise, is outstanding. She is my best friend and soulmate and didn't ask for the cards she was dealt. All this to say, sexual compatibility will change over the course of a long-term relationship. Adapt as a team. As we were each other's only ever partners, I thought her sexuality would grow and expand with me over time. There were so many things I was curious about and excited about and thought would be fun to explore together. But when we struck ceiling very early on, it was just confusing to me. I was like, out of everything out there to have fun with together, this is it. It just didn't compute for me. Not even a single toy. You learn to accept it won't change, but you always harbor a degree of resentment and a feeling of missed opportunity that lives in the background and never goes away. Personally, it's going great. My history is littered with toxic person, cheaters, and jerks in general. My husband makes me feel so safe and so secure that at this point, I'm feeling very happy with trading in a wild sex life. There were definitely times, especially at first, that I felt like I wanted more, and he tried to deliver, but his heart just wasn't in it. It caused a few fights, and we were even considering breaking up at one point over it. As our relationship grew, I found myself treating sex as a more personal endeavor, which I was already fairly used to from being single. I also over time started to see what a healthy relationship looked like. To not fear being berated or iced out for small mistakes, to speak for myself without fear of punishment. We went through the pandemic together, lost family members together, moved across the country and went through career changes. We also laugh a lot. Like belly laugh. Tears running down your face, laughs almost every day. We travel and see the world together. We play games and have adopted a few dogs. I finally feel like I can be myself, every version of myself, every day. I know hard times will be met with love and support, and good times will be richer shared with my best friend. I really have the life and partner I always dreamed of. He just doesn't like kinky sex, and there's always dungeons for that part. Edited to add. For context, we are in our mid-late 30s, and I do think it helped that my focus has naturally shifted from sex to stability. If I was in my 20s, this would have been a much bigger deal and probably a deal breaker. We divorced. But before that, I made sure to spend several years watching my self-esteem erode completely. Reminds me of an old joke. Mother tells daughter, "Don't ever sleep with a stranger. Don't ever marry a man who snores." Daughter says, "Then how am I going to find out?" Poorly. We are both attractive, sexual people, and we had a huge initial spark, but mechanically sex was tricky for us. I loved her deeply, and slowly repressed that part of myself for 6 years. And she had limited interest in other forms of intimacy. I grew bitter and resentful. She found sexual compatibility with a more appropriately sized colleague, but didn't think to let me know. I'm happier now, but in hindsight, it was gone in the water for a while. Married 32 years, gone bedroom last 6 years. I'm 74. She is 64 this year. I love her, but I feel I have a few years left sexually. I miss the sex, but also the closest of another. We also have not slept in same bed during same time. I'm at the end of my rope, worse than living with a stranger. Thanks. You can ignore it at first, but it doesn't disappear. It slowly turns into distance, resentment, and a lot of we'll talk about it later that never really gets fixed. Not well for my sister. They basically have an almost sexless friendship marriage now. Even if they have better years later, the young limber years are over. It saddens me because she was a virgin when they got married, and I don't think she will ever truly know the amazing depth of pleasure, not from sex, but true passionate intimacy. We were very sexually aligned at first. Her libido took a nosedive after using implanted birth control that's like a stick that releases hormones, implanted in the upper arm, way before marriage. That transition period was rough, a lot of rejection until I made peace with it. but I didn't think a gone bedroom would be detrimental to a relationship if you really aligned on everything else. And above all, I thought this hormonal imbalance would stop at some point. It may have, but our sex life never recovered. She was my person though, so we stayed together for 10 years and then got married. It was a marriage of joy, love, care, and comfort, but without the fireworks. Something, probably perimenopause, resuscitated her libido slightly in her 40s, though it was nowhere near the levels of when we just got together. The marriage did not turn out well. She lost her job and mutual agreement due to the high stress it caused. During her time at home, she dove fully into gaming, playing 10 hours a day. I guess her insecurities made her susceptible to the kind words of strangers, cause eventually she found herself in an emotional affair that turned physical twice before me finding out, which led to our divorce. So for me, what did us in ultimately wasn't the gone bedroom, but the betrayal of trust. I definitely consider sexual compatibility a hard requirement for a successful relationship now though. Been married 4 years. The sex life slowed down considerably after she moved in with me. I'm pretty much at the frustration part. I love my wife, very much, but damn, I would love a bit more intimacy. It's really unalived my confidence and self-esteem. I've tried to talk to her about it. Nothing has really changed. To be honest, I've pretty much stopped even trying at this point. The time I would have wasted attempting intimacy, I just go do something else, like play a game or work on a hobby. Coming from the opposite perspective, my husband and I have been married for 25 years. We love each other deeply and have always been attracted to each other. Like all marriages, it's had its ups and downs, but we've always worked on things, and both out love and our attraction has deepened. There's nothing in this world like being intimate with your soulmate. When deep love and desire come together, it becomes a powerful part of both your relationship and your identity. The sense of peace and fulfillment it brings is otherworldly. This isn't something you want to deny yourself. You can see from the answers how that works out. Of course, there are a few exceptions. If you're both genuinely asexual, or if there's a medical condition but if that's the basis for going into the marriage, then there needs to be an honest conversation so the other party knows what they're getting into and can make an informed decision about whether they can accept this. Still married nearly 14 years later, turns out I valued being accepted for who I was more than pokey fun. So, surprising but effective. I met a woman who was a secret lesbian because of her culture. She would get paralytic drunk so she could have sex with her partner. We used to be sexually aligned, but perimenopause is a bitch.